they're recording? The
Everything's
cameras are
recording.
recording?
Batteries are charged. If this doesn't work out, I'm killing myself.
Yeah.
This is the last of it.
That was funny when yesterday you said yesterday you said you had to go to the hospital. And I was like, what's wrong? You're like, I'm thinking of killing myself. Or I'm having suicidal thoughts. And I was like, oh shit, dude, do I have to call him? And then you're like, no, I'm joking with you. I think I broke my hand. Which it looks like your hand is fine now.
Yeah, it's good. I ended up not going to the hospital. But I was riding my bike the other day, and it was nighttime. I don't got any lights on my bike, and I had crashed into like a bus sign. I swear my hand like bent all the way back. Like
when you were catching yourself on the ground? Oh yeah.
And I could like I thought it was done, and it swelled up pretty bad, and I couldn't close it. I couldn't close it or open it. So I was like, this is finished. And I had no insurance, obviously. So
yeah.
I wanted to avoid that. I was gonna go to the hospital, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just ride around instead until it doesn't feel bad.
Yeah.
Put some ice in it, whatever. Man up, and now we're good. I think.
Yeah, dude, you're good. You're fine.
I still can't make a. You see how my finger is like popped up? I can't like put my knuckle down.
Oh, yeah, it's just swollen, dude.
Yeah.
Just ice it. You'll be fine.
I'll be good. I'm a man.
Stop being a baby.
I'm not a baby. I'm a man.
You almost went to the hospital
Almost.
over a broken hand, you coward.
Almost had a moment of weakness, but I toughed it out.
People are calling me, dude. I'm a popular guy. Get out of here.
You're a nanny, pretty much. That's what you are.
Dude, so you had a show yesterday?
We don't gotta talk about that. That was rough. That was one of those sets that make me want to, my God, end my career and end my life. There was a dude in the crowd who was like just talking the whole time, but like not to like it was at a bar, right? But they bought the bar out for the show, so everyone in there was for the show except these two people. This one couple, I guess they were just there for the bar.
Oh yeah, that's tough when that happens.
So they're at the bar having like a full blown like conversation, and this guy's like I don't know, like 55, 60. His wife is like 40. Everyone thought it was just some random girl. We thought it looked like he was like trying to hook up on this random like Filipino lady.
Oh, nice.
This old white dude. So all the comics are just calling him out. I finally got up there. I was like, "What are you doing? What is this? Why do you not want to shut the fuck up?" He's like, "This is my wife. This is our date night. Whatever." I was like, "Oh, you guys are married."
Oh, was he was talking the whole time?
The whole like they're having a full blown conversation. Like, yeah, so what do you want to get for dinner after? Like, at one point, he takes a phone call.
Oh my God!
Like I heard during my set, I heard a phone ring, so I stopped like a half a second to give it some time. I look over and he's at the bar, like, yeah, no, we're over here at the good night. Just park on the street.
Oh, was that the good night?
Yeah, so it was a fire show, hottest venue. Yeah, all the comics hated that dude. I bombed pretty hard. That was
nice.
That was a rough one. A lot of Asians in the crowd. They did not like my stuff.
Did you do the joke?
No, I was.
You should have done that one, dude.
I was afraid. I was like, if I do this joke, they will ninja star me or something.
You got to do it in the heart of it, dude.
Yeah, I felt like a bitch after that set. The second I walked off stage, I was like, I should have just called everybody gay and just like.
That's what I should have done the other day, dude.
At your actual gay show? Yeah.
Yeah, I did a show at a gay gym, which was actually wasn't bad. I thought it was gonna be much worse than it was.
Well, you're amongst your
it was
people.
Pretty fun. Gym goers, yeah, jack people. You're right.
The gays.
It was it was pretty fun. Me and but they're like rich gay gym goers, and at one point Elliot, he was on stage, and he asked someone how many Instagram followers they have. And like in the audience, there was like ooh, like you're not supposed to ask that. It's so weird, like that influencer crowd. It's like, whoa, dude, you don't talk about that.
It's like asking a girl how much she weighs.
Yeah, exactly. That's how they
age.
reacted. And like, dude, it's such a crazy. And I think it was the same girl at one point. I said something during my set, and she was like, "Aw," and I was like, "What do you mean?" It wasn't even like, dude, this dog needs to go.
I'll put him down at some point.
Kobe, you're insane. It's crazy how he just runs this place.
He doesn't run it. He just has a lot of input.
Look at his hair all over the freaking everywhere. He has no respect for anyone or anything.
Look at that.
You're kind of nice.
Just wants to
see. He knows I'm talking shit about him, so he starts being nice to me. Hey, don't lick my face. I'm not your. You can't teach him that, dude. And he does that to strangers.
What?
Licks their face.
Affection?
It's yeah.
Can't
Don't
teach
lick,
them love?
No. Not face licking's disgusting. With dogs,
You just offended them.
that would be very funny if after Michael Vick, like after his dog won a fight, if he'd just go up to him and like lick his face. It'd be very affectionate.
That was part of his mending. Kobe, you gotta chill out.
Like he would beat the dogs, but then when they were good, he would like lick their face and be like, "Oh, good boy,
I love you.
You killed that other dog. Give me kisses."
Yeah, the winners were treated better than royalty.
Yeah, if you lost, you got drowned in a bucket. But if you won, dude, you got kisses, you got treats.
That was a rough time to be a Michael Vick fan, which I was.
Yeah, oh, same.
That was my guy. That was my favorite player in the NFL. That was tough.
Yeah, I didn't want to believe it.
And I'm a dog lover. I was like, you know what? There are some bad dogs out there.
Yeah.
He's only fighting pitties. You know, it's not that crazy.
It's such a crazy thing to do as a like a superstar NFL quarterback to be just fighting dogs on the side.
It's funny that he was like sponsoring the league. So it's like whatever. It's funny that these dogfighting leagues had like sponsors on the side, and then it's just like Mike Vick's name or whatever the fuck as a signature. Like, yeah, this is.
Dude, it's so crazy. Especially because, like, it's one thing if you're, like, struggling to make it in life and you're like, dude, I have to fight dogs. It's the only way I'm going to feed my family. He's, like, a multi-millionaire, and he's like, yeah, I just like this.
Yeah, just the love of the game.
I just love dude.
I know how to fight a dog, God damn it.
Yeah. He would rather risk giving up football for dog fighting than give up dog fighting for football.
To be fair, though, at the time, I think that was a wake-up call for a lot of American people. Were like, "Wait, what? You go to jail for this?" I think at the time he was probably like, "Wait, it's a dog. What am I getting in trouble for?" Like, I don't understand. He was. I mean, he's from the South, right? He was probably very, very fucking confused. Like, these aren't people. How am I going to jail for having dogs fight each other?
He thought it would be like a fine.
If that, he was probably confused. Like, what the? I don't understand. Like,
yeah, slap on the wrist.
If I was cockfighting, or chicken fighting, I don't know how you say that.
Yeah.
In a not gay way, but if I was doing that, and can you go to jail for that?
Chickens seem much. Seems like a much lesser crime. I think because you could eat them.
I mean, you could eat dogs too. You ever been to Korea?
No, but not in America.
See, now that's being racist. You're not accepting other cultures.
Well, that's
maybe Mike Vick is actually Korean.
That's the American government not accepting other cultures, dude. Dude, the Korean government would eat you up, Kobe. Look at you. No, you probably taste like shit. You're too lean.
What?
You're too lean, dude.
He has a great diet. He probably tastes amazing.
No, what do you think would be the most delicious dog?
I don't know. Probably something fat, like a pug or something like that.
Ooh, pug would probably be good. Yeah. You get a plump of a pug. English.
What are we doing?
I was going to say an English bulldog, one of those fat ones, but they have too many medical problems.
What about a wiener dog? Because it's like a.
It could be good, dude. What's a plump dog? I think a pug might be good, but I think they're also like inbred and stuff.
Yeah, they're retarded dogs.
I wonder if you could taste the difference with an animal, like if one has Down syndrome. Like, have you ever eaten a cow with Down syndrome before, you think?
Have I ever had mad cow disease? Isn't that what that is? That's when they eat cow brains. No,
yeah.
I don't think, but that's the Louis thing. When Louis was on Shane's thing talking about what's his name? God damn it. I'm gonna cut this out. Fuck it, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut that part.
Cut it.
I'm gonna cut all this and get Kobe off the couch. Let's go. Come on.
Go, Kobe. Look at all those hairy sheds, dude. You're in timeout. Is that how you calm him down?
Just put that on.
And he chills.
We're back.
We're
Had
back.
to beat the shit out of my dog so he would calm down.
Yeah, you had to go Mike Vick on him, dude.
Although he might start freaking out again. So whatever, we'll figure this out.
You can't just like put him in a room.
No, can't put him in a. That's cruel.
It's not cruel to put him in your bedroom. It's not even in a cage. It's in a bedroom.
It might as well be a cage
in
to
a
him.
human-sized bedroom.
Yeah, but he can't play Xbox. What is he gonna do in there? Just stare.
What's he gonna do out here? Same thing.
Like it's, watch his daddy work.
You have a crazy just outlook on life.
So when you have kids, you're gonna put the kids in their room and just lock them up when you have guests over. Is that what you're gonna do?
No, if they're misbehaving, you do put kids in their room. That's the thing you do.
Well, to be fair, if he was a kid, I would just actually beat him. But he's a dog. He doesn't understand why I'd beat him.
Yeah, he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand. Like sometimes you're just not allowed to have fun. That does suck as a dog. Like you just want to have. Like sometimes you're allowed to have fun. Sometimes you're not. You don't know what's going on. He's like, okay, when they hold these things in their hand, apparently we're not allowed to have fun.
He also, you gotta train him. First broom in the house, he wants to pistol over the place and mark his territory.
Yeah, he does do he did a good job of that. He never goes to the bathroom here.
Not unless he's sick. He's a good boy with a good diet.
Yeah, but besides that, he's a absolute devil of a dog.
He just likes to be pet. That's it.
He jumps on people, dude.
The problem is you have a heart of blackness. That's your problem.
Yeah.
You have skin of blackness.
That's what I was gonna say.
You have a family of blackness. You have a family of blacks. That's your problem.
Dude, so yeah, want to get into the topic?
I guess, yeah, speaking of blacks, it's a good way to...
it is a black. Interesting.
It's a black. I hope you've heard of this, man. What do you know about Jack Johnson?
Jack Johnson, dude, great singer, making banana pancakes. I like him.
Who's that?
Jack Johnson. He's like kind of like a surfer bro, makes good songs. White dude.
What band is this a part of?
It's Jack Johnson.
There's an individual dude named Jack Johnson.
Yeah.
All right, well, this is not the Jack
This
Johnson.
is the boxer?
Yeah. There's a surfer?
No, he's like a singer. We'll play some Jack Johnson later.
It sounds horrible.
It's very relaxing music about making banana pancakes.
I don't eat pancakes.
It's the whitest possible guy ever.
That's Kid Rock. I like Kid Rock.
It's a different kind of like
Sweet Home Alabama all summer long.
Kid Rock is the best.
You like that? Yeah, nice. But Jack Johnson, the boxer, the black boxer.
The boxer.
You know anything about him?
He's a boxer. He's black. What more is there to know? Why don't you fill me in a little bit?
All right. Well, they called him the Gavelston Giant, even though he was only like 6 feet tall. This is back in the day, obviously.
Yeah, that was a giant back then.
Yeah, people couldn't eat food. You get protein once every 6 days or something like that. I think at the time he was, to be fair, 6 feet was like 4 or 5 inches taller than the average dude of the time. So
yeah, so is it
comparatively he is a giant. But let's get started. Early life, March 31st, 1878. He was born in Galveston, Texas. He was the third of 9 kids. His parents were literal slaves. Like both his parents were slaves, former slaves. And he described his dad as being the most impressive, like, physical specimen he had ever seen in his life, which kind of checks out for being a slave. That was that's like the main thing they were looking for is how do these guys look physically?
Yeah.
From the time he was a kid, his mom, her name was Tiny, right? She's a former slave. She told him that he could do whatever he wanted in life as long as he worked hard for it, which is notably very high confidence for like a slave to have.
That is, yeah, you don't think about that.
You can do whatever you want in life. Like you can't do whatever. What? You're a slave.
But that is post-freedom slave confidence. That's like, dude, we're free. We can do whatever the fuck we want. Who's gonna stop us now, dude? We're free. That would be a big confidence boost. Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't even tell my kid. I mean, you could be a sharecropper. You could, you could work the farm. But she instilled. So because of that, he was like, all right, I'm destined. He just from a young age thought he was destined for greatness.
Damn, that must be a pain in the ass having parent slaves. Like how like parents are known for being like, dude, back in my day, I had a job when I was 12. What did you do with your? It's like back in my day,
I worked from dusk till dawn.
It's like, yeah, sure you did, Dad.
For no pay. Yeah,
right.
The only options I had were work or get whipped.
Because that's what people make it sound like these days. Like modern day parents make it sound like they grew up as slaves.
Yeah, they walk uphill both ways to school, whatever the fuck it is. And
so if you grew up as an actual slave, you got some tales to tell.
That's what it's like having family from a third world country. I can't complain about shit. I'm like, yeah, this is whatever. Like, yeah, well, at least you have a pair of shoes. We had one pair of shoes for fucking 9 of us in the house. It's nonsense.
Are you kidding me? We had one blunt for the whole family, for all the kids in the house. We'd have one blunt for all 12 kids.
Racist. My family actually does smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah, of course. They're Jamaican.
Not all of them, just some of them. But
the ones that don't smoke a lot, they still smoke some.
They go hard.
Yeah.
I got it from somewhere.
Yeah, dude.
I'm just a product of my environment.
You're like a Chinese guy who smokes 100 cigarettes a day. It's like, yeah, dude, that's what you do.
Remember that fat Chinese boy?
That guy was the best.
Who was like 2 years old, who would just blow a pack down?
He's the coolest guy in the world.
I think he's dead now.
There's no way that kid's alive. We should maybe that's what I'll do my topic on. The kid who smoked 100 cigarets a day.
Damn, that'd be a dope guest to have on.
If we could have him on as a guest.
I mean, I doubt he speaks any English, but
I doubt he speaks anymore, dude. He probably has the hole in his throat.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier to get to smoking.
How crazy would Chinese sound through that thing? Through that machine?
Give an example.
I can't, dude. It's too many layers. It's a Chinese voice. It's a robot voice.
Robots are fine. You can make fun of robots.
I know. No, I'm saying it's too many things. I can't do it.
You can't do it.
It's not the
You're
human
not
tongue.
talented enough.
The human tongue can't do Chinese robot voice. It's not. No one's done it before, dude.
I want to try so bad.
So give it an attempt.
I'm not doing that. I'm not that minority. I'm not that black where I could
do Jamaican robot voice. You could do that.
How do you do a robot voice?
I try to do. I don't know. It's gonna sound Chinese if I do it. Actually, Chinese robot voice might be possible.
This is talking Chinese. Oh man! All right, let's get back before we get canceled. It's just talking Chinese. Ni hao. All right, I'm not. All right. So, Johnson grew up in Gavelston, Texas, right?
Yeah.
Most of the South, as you know, is like segregated. But where he grew up in the 12th Ward in Gavelston, it was not. It was just poor people. So it was poor whites and poor blacks living together. And he had a bunch of white friends that he grew up with. He had a quote, as I grew up, the white boys were my friends and my pals. I ate with them, played with them, and slept at their homes. Their mothers gave me cookies, and I ate at their tables. No one ever taught me that white men were superior to me. So he doesn't have like the same experience as most black folk have in the South.
It's especially in Texas. You would think it would be heavy racism,
especially as like a giant black dude in Texas.
Yeah,
but nah, he was his experiences were much different. He drops out of school at a young age, and began like working the farm and doing a bunch of odd jobs, help his family out. He eventually moves over to Dallas so he could like help raise. He helped like exercise racehorses. He wanted to be a racehorse jockey, but he was too big.
Yeah,
so he
you have to be extra small to be a racehorse jockey.
Yeah, and I guess that was a big job at the time. It makes sense. Everyone back then was fucking 4 feet tall.
Seabiscuit or something.
Everyone back then was Seabiscuit. Yeah, that's what I was. He starts exercising horses for this dude. Then a couple months later, he starts painting carriages, like horse racing carriages, for this guy Walter Lewis. Walter Lewis, not notable, but the one thing about him that was cool was that he liked to have like his workers spar for him. Like he would have workers and customers, just anybody around him. He would just say, "Hey, here's $5 or whatever, fight for me." Yeah. So this is where Jack starts to box. He's 16 at this time. He decides I'm gonna become a boxer, whatever.
Nice.
So he moves over moves out to New York, and he starts to train with this guy Joe Walcott. Joe Walcott is a Bayesian fighter. He's a former welterweight.
He's a what fighter?
Bayesian.
What does that mean?
You never heard of Bayesian? Barbados?
Oh no. Oh, I know what Barbados is. I didn't know that's what you called people from Barbados. Bayesian.
Yeah. You dummy.
Is that what Rihanna is? Isn't she from or no?
Yeah, she's Bayesian.
She's Bayesian? It sounds like black and Asian. Blasian. That's what I thought you were saying at first.
All right, yeah. I mean, I know a lot of Bayesian people, unfortunately, and their goofy fucking accent. Yeah, boy, they have the weirdest accent of all the.
That's a very weird way to shorten like I thought it was like Barbadese or something.
Well, they're weird people. They love the Queen, all those freaking weirdos down there.
They love the Queen?
They're one of the Queen's people.
Does Rihanna love the Queen?
I'm pretty sure she. Well,
What a bitch.
not anymore. You know.
Yeah, she did, dude. She was devastated when the Queen died.
To be fair, Jamaica was pretty sad too. But
why, dude?
I mean, why? That was our colonizer. That was our king.
I know. Why would you love them, dude? You guys are cowards.
Well, they taught us everything we know. They weren't like
taught you how to smoke reefer, dude.
They gave us our freedom at some point. You know, you gotta say thanks, move on.
I don't know, dude. The Queen seems like a bitch. I know nothing about her.
That's just a funny stance to have.
Yeah, she's a real.
You're
bitch,
asking me.
dude.
I think she was a bitch. I don't know much about it.
Isn't like the prince was a pedophile or something? Who is it? One of those guys is a pedophile.
I think it's his son. Andrew?
I think there's probably a couple pedophiles over there.
Probably the whole fucking family.
Yeah,
they're probably all monsters. They're trillionaires. You don't get that much money without being horrible. Trillionaire,
incest, pedophile lovers,
and they hate blacks.
Well, I mean, you guys love them for some reason. You were just saying how Jamaicans like love.
I didn't say we love. I said that
you said you were devastated.
I didn't say that. I said they were kind of sad.
You said you almost killed yourself over the Queen dying. You said I have to go be with her.
My grandma was very upset, but not my Jamaican one. She's been dead. My white grandma was very upset.
The Queen died?
She was very upset.
I'm gonna ask my family what they thought about the Queen dying. I don't think anyone even slightly cared.
They're probably like, Selena died years ago. We're over. All right. So, Joe Wolcott was a Bayesian fighter. He was a welterweight boxer. He's in the Boxing Hall of Fame. Just to show that the guy he was going to train with, whatever,
is legit.
Is a legitimate dude. After a few months out there, Jack moves back to Galveston and begins. He's a janitor at like this gym. This heavyweights gym. This guy, Herman Bernau, some German, fuck him, I don't care about him. After a few months of working, Jack is finally able to afford like a pair of boxing gloves. And he starts his training and he starts sparring wherever he can. But prize fighting is illegal in the state of Texas. So you're like not allowed to get involved. Like, so he got into a fight one day with this guy he works with, Jack or Dave Pearson. They got into a fight because they were playing craps. Pearson accused Jack of like turning him in to the police, whatever. So and then Jack accused him of just stealing money. It was a big he say situation.
Yeah.
So they go to jail. While they're in jail, the guards are like, all right, get out of here, go settle on your own. So they leave the jail. They go down to like the docks where they work at, and they just decide to spar. And it's like 1,000 people showed up to watch them fight.
Oh shit!
Jack knocks this guy out. Proves that he's like a natural, whatever, in the ring, and he's like the first or one of the first, he's like a boxer's boxer, I guess. That's how people describe him. Where he understood distance, he understood speed. He was, back in the day, people would box, like the roundabout,
like they're Irish,
back of the knuckles kind of thing. He was part of the first generation where they square up with someone, and it's just different techniques. Ahead of his time. That's what I'm trying to get at here. A couple months later, or a couple days later, he trains for his next fight versus guy John Must Have It Lee. I thought it was a cool name. So they can't fight in Galveston. They had to go to like some weird secluded beach to fight because it's illegal. Jack wins that fight. He wins $1.50 for the purse. He starts to get a reputation of being like a monster in amongst the people. He's only like 17 at this time. He's still a kid. But he continues his career. In 1898, becomes a Texas middleweight champion. This was funny to me. So February 25th, he fights this guy Joe Choinsky, and he gets knocked out in the third round. Jack gets his first loss. He gets knocked out by this guy Joe. Right? But because it's illegal to fight, they both got arrested after the match, and they were held on $5,000 bond. But $5,000 back then is like $180,000. So they can't afford to get out. So the sheriff of the prison that they're at is like, all right, I'll let you guys out if you spar for me. Like, fight for me.
How long was this after they got arrested? Like, is he coming fresh off the knockout?
Yeah. This is like the next day.
Oh, fuck.
The sheriff is, I'll let you guys out if you fight for me. So they both agree to fight, but they don't let him out for 20. It's 23 days of fights that they have to go through. Like
every day for 23 days.
For 23 days.
Holy shit!
And then finally the sheriff was like, "All right, I've had enough." They didn't even let him out. They lowered the bond. He still had to pay to get out of there. But
that's crazy.
They lowered it enough that he's able to get out. Right. 1902, the very next year, he starts his career. So he continues his career. He fights this guy Jack Jeffries. Not really notable. He's a heavyweight, Jack Jeffries. He whoops his ass so bad that he retires him. Makes this guy retire. Remember that name, right?
Jack Jeffries.
Yeah. So Jack Johnson, our boy, people hate him. He gets a lot of flack because he's like a shit talker. He's like the first like shit talker.
Oh, nice.
Where he is like Muhammad Ali had like interviews or whatever, like clips where he's like, yeah, Jack Johnson was the original, like me, and he even says I couldn't do half the stuff he did. Like he was just talking wild, and he would come onto the ring like wearing crazy, flashy, colored clothes, whatever. He would taunt opponents, like he would be like, hey, punch me here, like he would get punched and like laugh him off or whatever. Like he would do stuff that like had never been seen before in boxing. So people hate. He's an uppity nigga. People hated him. Being a giant black dude moving like this, motherfuckers hate. White America wanted him dead.
So and he's fighting white people, black people, right?
Mostly fighting black dudes.
Is he ever fighting any white people?
So yeah, so Joe Choinsky was a white dude. Jack Jeffries was a white dude. So he is fighting white guys, but he's not allowed to fight champions.
Okay.
Which is what he wants. He wants to be the champion.
Yeah.
He's not allowed. So there was like it wasn't an official rule. It was an unspoken rule in boxing where a white man would never risk his belt against a black man. Just because they're inferior or whatever. So they had the colored heavyweight championship and they had colored belts and all that stuff.
That must be nice as a parent who was a slave, just to see your son beating the shit out of a white guy. It's like, dude, how far have we come? This is crazy, dude.
Yeah, slavery had ended like 30 years before this. So
yeah.
That's a hell of a jump to go from I was getting whipped and now my son is beating this guy's son's
he's beating
ass.
the shit out of some white dude. That's crazy.
It's the American
talking shit to him, be like, "Yo, fuck you," and then just knocking him out.
It is. That's it. But apparently, though, and this will come up later. But Jack, because like black folk loved him. They were like, "This is our hero."
Yeah.
But to him, he was like, "I'm not a hero. I'm just Jack." Like he. You ever seen that quote from O.J. Simpson? "I'm not black. I'm O.J."
Yeah,
it was kind of like that, where he wasn't fighting for freedom or fighting for equality. He was like, yeah, I'm Jack Johnson. I deserve to be.
That's
you think of the other OJ quote?
It's just very funny that's the OJ quote you bring up. You're like, that very famous OJ quote.
If it don't quit, you must have quit. Whatever.
Yeah. OJ is not quoted very often in like a positive light. It's mostly like, this guy chopped a lady's head off.
You're this great man, Orenthal James.
The juice is loose.
But yeah, so he's not allowed to fight white folks. But even when he does, he's not doing it for like this is for the movement. He's doing it like, I want to make money. It's all selfish endeavors. So black folk towards the end, well, we'll get to that, but it hurts him in the end. Anyway, though, so Jack, he's not allowed to fight white champions, and it's also good for them, for the champions to be like, oh, we have an unspoken rule. I'm not gonna fight these guys. To them though, they must have been like, there's no fucking way. Are you serious? After all the shit we did to them, I'm not fighting these fucking dudes. Size of the fucking killer. Pissed off these guys fucking are.
Yeah, that's something you don't think about.
So Jack becomes the colored heavyweight champion at age, I believe it was 19, and he wins it in a 20-round decision. Boxing matches
Jesus
back then
Christ.
were, they lasted forever and a day. So at this time, the current champion for heavyweights, for white heavyweights, whatever, is this guy named James Jeffries. If it sounds familiar, he's the brother of that guy,
Jack Jeffries.
He's his older. So when Jack Jeffries fought Jack Johnson, James was in Jack's corner. He was in his brother's corner, and he watched his brother get his ass whooped so bad that he had to retire. Like, and James had came up with all these statements. He was like, "Yeah, I'll retire before I belittle myself by fighting this black dude, whatever. I'm not like, it's like most people, you would think like, he's gonna defend his brother's honor, whatever. But he was like, yeah, like I'm not gonna disrespect myself by fighting this black dude. So he retires instead, as opposed to fighting Jack Johnson. He just retired off the rip, like a bitch.
James did that?
Yeah, James retires instead of fighting him.
Wow.
So Jack goes around for years. He's trying to get this fucking heavyweight fight because it's obvious he's the best black boxer.
Yeah.
And he has enough because white folks, he grew up in a place where he had white friends, so he had enough white folks who were like defending him, who were like, yo, give him a chance, let him play, whatever. So the belt was vacated and bounced around. Eventually gets to this guy, Tommy Burns, this Canadian dude. And Tommy was like, all right, I'll fight. I don't care who it is. I'll fight anybody as long as I get paid the right amount of money. Bring it on, right?
Oh yeah, because he's Canadian. So I don't know. Do they have slaves in Canada? Black slaves in Canada?
That's where the slaves left to go to get the free. What do you know about history? God, this is a history podcast.
No, I'm saying they
God damn.
They didn't have black slaves in Canada, right?
Niggas in America went to Canada to become free. They have.
So I'm right.
They did or did not?
Did not.
Oh yeah, all right. I think they did.
No, I said didn't. I'm saying that's why, like in Canada, he's like, he doesn't have that slave. He's like, yo, I'll fight this guy.
Okay, yeah, maybe. He was still racist.
Don't talk to me like I'm a fucking dumbass, dude.
Don't talk to you as if you are what you are.
I'm gonna knock you out, dude. Dude, I'm gonna knock you out.
Please.
I'm gonna Jack Johnson you, dude.
Please.
You're gonna go into retirement.
Oh, Julio Cesar Chavez, you pussy. Naming out racist, but maybe that was it. I think he was just trying to be a macho man and prove that he wasn't afraid. He also said he would do it for the right price, though. He wasn't honest enough. He was like, the money has to be there.
Well, no, I'm not saying he loved black people, but I'm saying like he probably didn't have as much as
he's willing to beat them up.
Yeah, yeah. Like they'll come there for freedom, and then he'll beat them up. He's not above beating him up.
You're a man just like me. I'll put my hands on you.
Yeah.
I think this fight was made in Sydney, Australia, on December 26, 1908. Burns is paid $30,000, which is the equivalent of, it's over $1 million today. He gets paid for this bout. And Jack is paid $5,000. Which is a crazy discrepancy. But yeah. At this time, with 1908, the average American was making between $500 and $1,000 a year.
Oh shit!
So they're making they're making crazy amounts of money compared to the next person.
Yeah.
So the fight happens in Australia. It lasts 14 rounds before the police stop the fight. The police jump in the ring and they end the fight because they were afraid of seeing a white man get knocked out by a black guy. They were afraid of what would happen.
Oh shit!
So they stopped the fight. Jack wins. And it was reported as a stunned silence amongst people are crying in the crowd. They're devastated because they can't believe that this black guy just.
Were there any black people in the crowd? Like, dude, hell yeah!
Ooh, there's a couple.
Yeah, just one of them.
Yeah, they weren't allowed into the stadium. But back in the States, yeah, he's a hero. People
they're going crazy.
Just like this is our Jesus or whatever the fuck. But it must have been funny to just be like. For him to be cheering in the ring and look around, people are just crying.
Just silent. He's like, "Woo, yeah,
I'm the best. God was on my side," and people are just devastated. So after this, he becomes like a superstar in America, because he's the first black heavyweight champion. The first black champion in general was this guy Joe Gans. I think he was a middleweight champion. But immediately after he becomes the champ, white folks they're asking him for to get his title stripped. Like, yeah, take his belt away from him. Don't let him fight. Like, this is a travesty. Like, they're asking for boxing to be banned from America as a result. Like, they're like, all right, if he's a champion, no more boxing. Fuck it. Get rid of the sport. A big problem also. So he's knocking white guys out. He also, I don't know if you noticed about him. He loved white women.
Wow, this guy.
That was his that was his main, and he and it wasn't he was like threatened. People would say, don't sleep with white girls, you're not allowed to as a black guy. And he was like, I'm gonna do it anyway. And black folk were like, yeah, he's trying to break the color barrier. He's trying to advance, whatever. But to him, he was like, no, I just like white pussy. He's like, this is not for us. This is for me. I just
This
like
is not for us.
I just like white bitches. So 1910.
Oh, that's so funny to just be horny for white ladies, and then they're like, "Dude, you're a hero." He's like, "No, I'm just horny.
Yeah,
I just like white ladies."
and I'm big enough to fight off any of their brothers who
Yeah.
whatever. So 1910, after a couple years of being champion, James Jeffries, the former champion, comes out of retirement. People across the country were like begging him, like, "Oh, please come out, please fight this guy and beat him. We need you to become the champion again." So this is the first Great White Hope. That term it comes from this. From this match, and this is also the first fight of the century. This is the first term for both of those. It's based on this one fight.
This is the first super fight.
And James is talking a lot of shit. His quote was, "I'm going into this fight for the sole purpose of proving that a white man is better than a Negro." That was it.
Damn, we need to bring that shit talk back, dude. Imagine like fighters, modern day fighters, saying stuff like that.
This guy's fucking Russian. He's a piece of shit.
Imagine if someone busted that out of the press conference. Imagine if Colby Covington busted that out.
Well, Khabib, that could be Conor. Pretty much did that when he fought Khabib, calling him a towel head. But
he's
your wife is a towel, mate.
Oh yeah, that was hot.
Calling his brothers ISIS. That was which they do have ties to ISIS, but that was funny.
That was good shit talk, dude.
If you were allowed to just be you'd have to have some kind of stipulation on it, but it would be very funny to be like, guys, he's Mexican. I'm gonna whoop his ass. All right, so the fight happens, and Jack is from the very beginning starts fucking him up, and he's whooping the shit out of him so bad to the point where James is cornered. They throw in the towel because they wanted to avoid having a knockout on his record because he's been undefeated at this time and never had a loss, never whatever. So they threw in the towel so that way he's not knocked out. It's just a loss, whatever. But it's the same thing as the fight with Tommy Burns. The crowd is devastated.
Oh shit.
Everybody is crying. He has like death threats from the people. We're gonna fucking kill you. After the fight, James came out and was like, "Yeah, I could have never." His exact quote was, "I could have never whipped Johnson at my best. I couldn't hit him. No, I couldn't have hit him in 1,000 years." He
was humbled.
Yeah, he had to have been. And he said other things. He was like, "Yeah, that was the strongest thing I've ever touched in my life."
The strongest thing.
He was describing him like an animal. He was like he called him a beast. He was like, that beast is like unlike anything you ever faced. He was saying things like, "Yeah, I mean, you gotta respect. These guys are pretty fucking strong. Like, we trained them a little too hard over."
We trained him a little too hard.
So Johnson,
that's such a funny just awakening. Like, I wonder at what point in the first round he's like, "Oh fuck, dude, these guys could hit."
It was probably like when America gave all those guns to like Al Qaeda in like the 80s, and then like 20 years later when they became like a terrorist group, they were like, "Fuck, we shouldn't have told those guys how to do any of this shit." Now they're killing us.
This is a problem now.
So Jack likes the white ladies, like I said.
Yes.
This turns out to be part of his downfall. So there's this thing in America called the Mann Act, which it was passed in 1910, and it was pretty much it was like you're not allowed to travel with white ladies across like state lines in certain avenues because they were afraid of white girls becoming prostitutes for like minorities and immigrants and all this stuff. White ladies were like dominating the sex game, I guess, sex worker game, and white guys didn't like that they were being used by the minorities and shit.
I think they still are, dude. A lot of white ladies are on OnlyFans right now.
Yeah, they a lot of ones with fake asses, plump butts. So they passed this law, the Mann Act, and it was supposed to stop prostitution. It pretty much instead was just like a way to stop white folks and black folks from like hooking up. There was a lot of like you weren't allowed to be cross culture or cross race in this act. You know what I'm saying? It's early.
I'm
talking on my words, but doesn't go well for Jack, who loves the white bitches. So at this time, you know, in the South, black dudes are being lynched for rumors of like, you know, talking to white girls. If someone thinks you're talking to a white girl, they'll kill you. He's openly dating white bitches at this time, and so people hate him. He in 1911 he married this facing the camera. In 1911 he marries this white lady, Etta Durea. She's from Long Island, and her family disowns her after this because she married this black dude. And after she gets disowned, she became like crazy depressed. Jack also wasn't like a great husband. He would cheat on her all the time. And then there was a report that he also liked to. He was a little bit of a Mayweather. He tested her out, tested her jaw, punched her a couple times. Not great. So
that's tough to like. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna date a black guy. I'm gonna tell my family. And then you just get rocked by him. You're like, oh, fuck.
They were right. They're probably, he's a savage. He's a gorilla, whatever. Oh, I forgot to mention that. That was part of the campaign against him. So he became famous in the newspapers, obviously for boxing.
Yeah.
So before his fights, they would, for his quotes, the newspapers would change his quotes. So instead of him having like I'm excited for this, they would make him sound like a caveman. Like me excited for fight. Me want belt. Like
Me want.
They had him talk like Solomon Grundy. And they would change his photos in the paper so he looked like a gorilla. It was very racist, God. Very funny, but also extremely racist.
That's a funny prank. If you did that like today, if you somehow could pull that off today, that is very funny.
Man, imagine if the press did that with Obama. Me create policy. Me hope.
Me wife is trans.
All right, so his wife becomes depressed, and she like tries to kill herself a bunch of times. Jack tries to stop her. He hires like help or whatever. Doesn't help. Eventually, she kills herself on September 11th of that same year. So they were married for like 6 months.
September 11th?
Yeah.
That's the greatest tragedy to ever happen.
To him, he was probably, oh my God, yeah, like this white bitch is dead. They're gonna think I killed this bitch. So he would cheat on her a lot. That was a big. So he hit her and cheated on her a bunch. Right, part of the reason why she killed herself. This guy's a savage. A month after she had died, he was out publicly with another white woman, which is the same lady he was like cheating on her with. This lady named Lucille.
Dang.
Savage. There's a story in the newspaper about how he's like a sexual deviant and how he's like kidnapping these white ladies to make them like his sex slaves or whatever.
City boys up.
City boy. And but Lucille, his wife or his current girlfriend, is like, yeah, no, that's bullshit. Like I love him and he loves me, whatever. So the people, like reporters, are going around trying to find anybody they could find from his past to like corroborate this story, because if one person agrees to it, then he would be violating the Mann Act, right?
Yeah.
So they find one of his former girlfriends, and the feds got involved. The FBI got involved to figure out who this guy is fucking.
That's crazy.
To make sure this guy isn't fucking white bitches. The Mann Act also, I forgot to add this, because there were small parts of it that it was the motivation for like the reason why prohibition, the alcohol prohibition, whatever, in the 1920s.
Mm-hmm.
The Mann Act was a big motivation for that, because it was like white ladies are being tormented or whatever, or they're being sexually abused by blacks and minorities. It's because of it was a part of that. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, though, they found one of his they found a former girlfriend of his to come out and testify against him, right? So he goes to trial and he loses, and so he gets sentenced to a year in jail for fucking a white lady, essentially. Instead of doing that, he leaves. He's I'm not going to jail for that. It's my God-given right to fuck white bitches.
Where do you leave to?
So he goes to Europe so he can keep fucking white bitches, obviously.
Nice.
Him and his wife both did well. He goes to Europe, like around England and France, all these other places, and he continues to like he defends his belt 4 times while he's out there, and he does like a bunch of like exhibition matches and like weird stuff to make money. He does like weird trainings and stuff, and still, like I say, he still defends his belt. April 15th, 1915, he fights this guy, Jess Willard, who was just a farm boy from like Kansas or somewhere, who had just started training at like 27 years old. Like, what wasn't a crazy. This is back in the day. Anyone could start boxing and 2 weeks later be a champion. Jack loses this fight in the 26th round.
Jesus.
Gets dropped. A lot of people had speculated like, oh, maybe he didn't actually lose. Maybe he lost on purpose so that way it would help drop his charges for this bullshit that he's dealing with back home. But he loses his belt, right? After 7 years, he returns back to the United States and he has to serve his time in prison.
Damn.
So after all that, anyway, he still had to go to jail. Gets out of jail, and he's like, I'm gonna go back and fight for the belt. He gets back into boxing, but he's not. He lost his step. He's not what he used to be.
Yeah.
He's had a long, successful life of like partying and doing like alcohol. He drinks, smokes, whatever.
Ladies.
So he's not the top of the block that he used to be. He continues fighting until like his 40s, but he never becomes champion again. I don't think he ever retained the color championship either. He's just he's not what he used to be. He ends up
Washed up.
He ends up dying in a car crash on June 10th, 1946, at the age of 68. Before he died, I should say. Like I said before, Black America kind of had a weird relationship with him. They loved him at first, but then he was like, "Yeah, fuck y'all. This isn't about us. It's about me. I'm not a hero. I'm just Jack Johnson." So Black America was like, "Ah, you're selfish. Fuck you." Right. So years later, you heard of Joe Louis?
Yeah.
One of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all time. Joe Louis people think he's the greatest of all time. Black folk, he is a hero to black folk to this day. Jack Johnson hated this nigga. And Joe Louis hated him, apparently. Because Joe Louis's whole... do you know a lot about Joe Louis?
No, not too much.
Have you seen photos of him?
Yeah.
Video? I don't know. He was a very, like, soft-spoken, like, clean, like low-maintenance kind of dude. And his whole persona and image was because of Jack Johnson. So Joe Louis's team purposely built him in a light that made him look like a country, sweet, charming boy, because Jack Johnson was so crazy and so like Joe Louis was like, I'll never date a white woman. He never cursed. It was a bunch of, his whole image was built in opposition of Jack Johnson because Jack Johnson was so crazy. So Jack Johnson hated him because of that. He was like, yeah, fuck, this guy's a pussy. Like, this guy's a bit. And Joe Louis was like, yeah, this guy's he's an old fag who's fucking it up for the rest of us. And Black America further hated Johnson because of that. They were like, yeah, Joe Louis is our hero and you're talking shit about him, so fuck you, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was dies at the age of 68. Then years later, in 2018, after 100 years, finally, Jack Johnson is finally pardoned of fucking a white bitch by President Trump.
Trump pardoned him?
Yeah, I remember that when that happened. Yeah, it's
Whoa.
it's like Jack's like son or like his his family was with him at the White House, and they're like, yeah, I mean, this is kind of random, but sure, we'll take it. It's not a problem to fuck a white bitch. So
what a move by Trump.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I think he also gave him like the Medal of Freedom too. I think he gave him like a posthumous Medal of Freedom and pardoned him in the same meeting.
Holy cow, dude! What? I did not see the story ending there.
What a random turn.
What a turn. Trump probably, he's like, dude, I get it. The white ladies.
Trump was probably like, I need a win. These fucking libs are trying to kill me. Guy, give me a black eye. Any black eye.
Dude, Trump was, it was, so Jack Johnson, Kodak, didn't he free Kodak?
He freed Kodak and Lil Wayne.
Yeah, Lil Wayne.
He moved the embassy in Israel to Jerusalem. Listen.
What A$AP Rocky? Didn't he free A$AP from somewhere too?
A$AP was, I think he slapped somebody in Sweden or something like that.
Yeah, he was overseas somewhere.
And Trump was like, bring him back or we're going to, I don't know what Sweden has. You. Yeah, we'll take away your Swiss Army knives. No, that's Switzerland.
That would be hilarious if they didn't free A$AP and he just nuked him. That would have been
declared
sick.
War?
Yeah, he just declared war. It's like, yo, dude, no one takes A$AP from us. I'll tell you one thing. Brittany Griner would be free right now if we had Trump in office.
That's such a... man. I told you how I met her one time?
No.
I met Brittany Griner at Mohegan Sun casino in Connecticut. She was sitting there playing blackjack, whatever. I walked, I like women's college basketball. That's because UConn girl. So I knew who she was, whatever. I walked over and said hello, and she had a voice deeper than like that. Her voice was crazy deep. She sounded like it was like a modulator, like what's up? Like it was crazy deep. And her hands, when she gave me a handshake, her like fingers went to my wrist. It was like
Jesus.
She was a giant, but not above the law. You're big. You're not that big.
Oh man, was she cool?
Yeah, I mean, she was in the middle of gambling. She was fine, which is also gotta be careful where you gamble. You can't gamble in every state. You can't smoke in every state.
Yeah,
I think she knew that. She knew the risks.
Yeah, she knew what she was getting into.
Being a giant black dyke walking around Russia. I think she had her wife with her next to her. She was nice. It was cool.
Now, do you think you could beat her in a one-on-one game?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Any woman you put against me, I'm gonna destroy. That was funny when she was. I could beat DeMarcus Cousins. It was
that was so funny.
What are you talking about? He outweighs you by like 150 pounds.
That was nuts.
And he's a man. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
you dumb bitch.
And he's good.
Yeah, that was back when Boogie was like a pro. Now I don't think he's in the NBA anymore. But
was that when he was on the Lakers or right before he?
I think it was right before he got hurt, or it was right after he got hurt. But even when he's hurt, I'm still taking. I'll spot her 11 points playing the 12, and he's still gonna beat the bitch. It's not.
Oh man,
this is turning into a different episode now.
Yeah,
but
it is.
How do you like Jack Johnson,
dude? I think he's a wild. It's very funny. Like comparing him to the other Jack Johnson, like just the whitest guy in the world. But no, Jack Johnson, he rocks. I didn't know this much about him. He's I didn't realize how wild he was, which is sick.
It's funny that his today, like Mayweather beats up his wives or whatever. And
you could do it.
Like a bunch of fighters or a bunch of athletes, they have like rape cases. They're doing crazy shit. Yeah. His whole thing was like, I like to fuck white bitches, and they're like, this is an outrage.
Yeah, that is
Take
crazy.
His belt from him, remove him from the sport.
Well, he did also beat him up. You said, right?
Well, he threw a punch. It was one. It was his wife who killed herself. It was the one who killed herself. So she might have been saying crazy shit on top of that.
Yeah,
I'll kill us all. I'll kill us both. He might have been defending himself. I don't know.
That's a good point, dude. He was probably in the right.
She might have dropped the N-word. I don't know. He can't. Even back then, that was a no-no. So I don't.
Yeah, I wonder. Because today, hitting women is bad, right? We can all agree on that. But also say the N-word is bad. But at one point, as a black man, can you hit a white woman? Where people will be like, you know what?
At one point, both of those things were like fine. You could hit a woman and say the N-word. So.
And now both are two of the worst things you could do.
Yeah, man. America lost its shine.
Yeah. And what would it take for you to hit a white woman?
Oh, not much. Just an introduction is all.
Look at you wrong.
An opportunity is what it would take for me. I'm waiting for that day for a white woman. If a white girl could pull a Will Smith on stage to me, I'm waiting for that day.
Oh,
where she attacks me, so I have a chance to
defend yourself.
Yeah, and I will defend myself vigorously. I can't talk.
Yeah, dude, it's too early for you.
Yeah, so it's an early pod.
This is the earliest podcast. You did 8 a.m. podcast.
It was nice.
Yeah.
Start your day with some knowledge.
Yeah, it was nice, dude. I went on a little walk before. I made my little coffee.
I've been doing some
little frozen coffee drink.
I think the last 2 weeks I'm averaging like 15,000 steps a day.
Dang, you're moving, dog.
I'm doing it. I'm trying to get in shape.
Plus you're biking,
so I can beat up these white bitches.
No, and then we got the fights to watch, dude.
Yeah, early morning UFC. What's better than this?
Nothing. Not much. Oh yeah, what are you cooking today? You're making some wings and some.
Well, no one pulled up. You're not coming, right?
No, I gotta go. I gotta go take my sister to
Nobody
games.
pulled, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just cancel and I'll just eat by myself while I watch.
Are you gonna cook yourself wings?
Yeah, I'll make some wings and I'll.
I wish this fight was later. I could have had some wings, but I want.
We're on the pod now, so who are you picking? Let me hear some predictions.
I'm gonna go Charles. I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Jan. I'm gonna go.
Man, if Sugar Sean could pull that off, that would be dope. I'd like to see Charles Oliveira win.
Yeah.
I fuck with him.
I think because
I got Aljo winning. Shout out Jamaica, obviously.
no, I got
You got Pillishaw?
yeah, I got Pillishaw.
You sound crazy.
I got Pillishaw, baby.
Aljo is gonna be a
Great
human
white
backpack.
hope.
Hold him on his back and just choke him the fuck out.
I want Pillishaw, dude.
You racist piece of shit.
Dude, I want the comeback. Dude, he served his time.
He's a snake. He's a bitch.
He is a snake and a bitch, and that's why I love him. He rocks. Dude, yeah, Pillishaw. Yeah, Jan. I don't know. I just want. Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't know. Sugar Sean, he could probably pull it off, but I got Jan.
Yeah, I think Jan's gonna actually kill him.
Yeah.
All right, this is turning into this, whatever.
Yeah, turn into fight talk. But yeah, no, I want Oliveira because like my brother's fight that's coming up, it's gonna be that it's like a wrestler versus a jiu-jitsu. So like in my brother's jiu-jitsu,
Man, that's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be like this fight, but it's my brother's jiu-jitsu, so I got to go with jiu-jitsu on this one.
Charles has a heart. He just has the heart of a fucking champion.
He does have the heart of a champion.
Seen him get knocked out 19 times and then win the fight anyway. He's a
monster.
He's a monster. All right, this was a fun episode. I hope.
I hope so. You don't want to kill yourself right now, so that's good. That's a good start. Normally at the end of episodes, you're like, this sucked.
Well, I'm pretty
I
tired
quit.
right now. If I wake up a little bit, get the energy in me, I'll probably be motivated to jump off a bridge. Almost History podcast on TikTok and all that stuff. We're gonna start putting out actual clips. We have an editor now, so we're gonna start being way more consistent with our stuff. Relax and laugh. If you want to find me on Instagram,
Logan Quiroz, Instagram, TikTok.
Oh, leave a review also.
Oh yeah, like, review.
Say we don't suck.
Say
And if you want to see us do comedy, November
4th and 5th.
4th and the 5th, Madhouse Comedy Club,
San Diego.
San Diego, come out
Yes.
and don't heckle us. I'll cry on stage.
All right. Peace.
Peace.